What's going on YouTube? Chris back with another video, and this one I wanted to share because it's going to be kind of a first type of product that I'm going to be covering, and this I kind of got on a whim because I found it on sale at Walmart actually. This is the Withings Sleep Tracking Mat. Alright, so this originally was $100 and I actually found it at my local Walmart for $25. So your mileage might vary. You might find one on the clearance section. So take a gander over there, see if they might have one. And I'm going to go and share my thoughts after using this for about 2 weeks now. For up until this period of time, I've been using the Amazfit Bip to track all of my sleeping habits in terms of length of time, the sleep cycles, and all of that. But about 2 weeks ago, I picked this up and I've been using it ever since. And surprisingly, spoiler alert, it's been fantastic. So I'll show you kind of what's in the box, what you get, and share with you how you actually set up the tracking mat. So the unboxing experience is actually quite simple, but yet nice. And of course, you can pick this up on Amazon. Right now it is $70, so it is slightly discounted. I'll leave the links down in the description. So again, Withings, they do offer a lot of other products that are health related, such as smartwatches. They do offer like blood pressure, thermometers, scales, things like that, and all of it is tied in together into their app, and I'll show you that in just a moment too. So inside you do get a multi-language quick installation guide, which it's very self-explanatory. This is the actual mat itself, and then there is a included power brick in here too, which is over USB. All right, so small charging brick, or power brick I should say. And the only thing I wish that this had the output of the type A port in the upper position, because having this sticking out of the wall socket near your bed might interfere with furniture kind of going up against a wall. So if it was like this with the plug going into the wall, that would be a lot more compact. So this comes with a really nice gray braided cable, and it's quite long. I would say it's plenty long to go into your wall. It's probably about 6 feet or so. And so this is the mat itself. This goes underneath the mattress, surprisingly. So you don't wear anything whatsoever. And so I've been wearing this to kind of compare the differences in terms of the accuracy of this and the watch, or vice versa. So this goes underneath your actual mattress. You don't sleep on top of this. You don't ever feel this when it's underneath the mattress either. So that's great. You're not going to be disrupted by it. And within this has all the various electronics inside, which can be removed, and you can actually wash this outer material in the washing machine. But I don't see why you would ever need to, since you're not sleeping on it, but I digress. Regardless, it's nice that you can actually remove the electronics and wash the outside material. So like I mentioned, there's nothing that you wear that you tie into, which is insane to think about because of the fact that it tracks all of your sleep in terms of your REM sleep. It also tracks the fact that any sort of interruptions. It also tracks whether you are snoring. It also tracks your heart rate as well while you sleep, any sort of breathing disturbances. So within the app here, it gives you a nice overview of your night's rest or your sleep per se. So here we have a breakdown. Now, don't judge me based on my sleeping patterns. I know I need to do better, and that's kind of what I want to see all of this and be able to visually see how well I'm sleeping and where I can improve and all that. And it kind of gives you some tips and helps guide you on improving your sleep for overall better health. So we can see in terms of awake time, REM sleep, light and deep sleep. So the awake time, it gives you the period of time, let's say when you're just laying in bed or sitting in bed, right? And I do this a lot when we're watching shows before going to sleep, and there's usually a good period of time, let's say an hour or so before actually going to bed, and then it goes into breaking down each period or cycle per se within the REM sleep, and it gives you an overall score based on your duration, regularity, and all this other stuff. Depth, it breaks it down in terms of how much time, both hours and percentage of your sleep cycles. So that's awesome. And then how long it takes you actually to fall asleep. So basically, once your body kind of settles in, stops moving, and since it tracks your heart rate, there are mics in this in terms of being able to pick up snoring. So do note that there is that. So if that's something that you're concerned about, that is what it's being used for. The heart rate also more than likely is tied with the mic and potentially any sort of sensors such as pressure, which to be honest, I'm not a scientist, I'm not an engineer in how all this works, but I'm assuming it's using a lot of different sensors and things like that to combine to be able to track the heart rate. And so it gives you an overall for your entire sleep, which is amazing. Breathing disturbances, and then any sort of snoring as well. All right. And then, of course, that's per day. There's the score, and kind of gives you really additional information on what each of these quality of sleep categories that it's looking at. And then you can go per week on breaking it down, what the sleep is like, gives you an average weekday, things like that, and then a month, for example. So you can really break down and see, hey, what happened that day, what time you went to sleep, and kind of track when you had good night's rest versus not. And you can really kind of, based off that, how your actual day went, whether you woke up extremely tired. Well, you can go back and see what might cause that if you went to bed late, things like that. So it's been fantastic, to be honest, of me using this for the 2 weeks or so. Now, the only thing I have noticed, there are smart features in this, which it ties into if this, then that. In terms of potentially being able to control lights, thermostats based on when you wake up, turning on lights when you wake up, and things like that. Now, this is kind of where I go into the issue I had. Well, the problem I had is my wife, obviously sleeping next to me. When I'd wake up in the morning to get ready for work, she would still be sleeping. I'd go to, let's say, later in the morning when I'm at work, I sync this, and it still shows at sometimes that I'm asleep, and it gives me like 10 hours of sleep. And come to find out that it's picking up actually my wife sleeping on her side slightly. I don't know if it's because she rolled closer to this, or maybe I have this slid too far in, but to be honest, I have pretty much where this wire's hanging out of right on the edge of our bed frame, so I can't really move it much further out. So if your partner tosses and turns and moves while they're sleeping, and after you've already waken up and left the bed, this will more than likely pick up their sleeping and incorporate it into yours. But at the same time, which is nice, you can actually go into these three dots, what I've had to do in a night or two, and edit my night. You can actually go and adjust what period of time you woke up or went to sleep, and then it removes that data, which is great. You can always go back and edit it based on your alarm. I know I woke up at X period of time, I can just remove and edit it, and it's all hunky-dory there. So let me show you, with this installed on the bed, kind of what it looks like and where to position it on the actual underneath your mattress. They do a great job on actually setting up and walking you through how to set up within the app. In terms of placement, they do require you to place it in there, and then basically there's a period of time, about maybe up to 10 minutes, that it detects like the thickness of your bed and making sure that it's in a correct spot. And so if you do run into any sort of issues with it detecting your sleep, you might need to adjust it. They tell you to place this right around chest level underneath where you're sleeping. But I'll show you what this looks like right now. All right, everyone, we are back. Sorry for the change in audio quality here, but we're here in our bedroom. So we currently have a purple mattress, a purple hybrid 3, I believe. So to give you some context, it's a heavy mattress, and I was kind of concerned in terms of how that might affect the ability of the Withings sleeping mat. So basically this is the corner in terms of the side that I sleep on. There's the head of the bed right up here. And based on like a pillow being about this thick, in terms of where I sleep, you just lift up the mattress itself and then lay it back down. You want to make sure that the sleeping mat is actually perpendicular to the direction of where the mattress is laying. So basically you have part of the cable running out of the mattress, and it's just laying right underneath the mattress right there. And so basically you position it, lay down on the bed like you normally would, kind of gauge where your chest is on the bed, and then place the mat underneath that area accordingly. You don't want to have it inserted too deep into the mattress. You want to have it that way your body is kind of positioned right over the mat itself. Of course, they do include a nice little Velcro tie, which you're able to then just kind of bundle up the rest of the cables and tuck neatly. And you never know anything's there. And then I have a power outlet just off to the side of the bed that I have the cable running into. Another great thing that Withings offers is, since they do have a slew of other devices in terms of being able to track your weight, your BMI, your blood pressure, your temperature, your weight, of course, sleep here with the sleeping mat, is you're actually able to create pretty much a health report for your doctor. And pretty much here, what you can then do, it creates a PDF file that you can share with your doctor, and that allows them to get additional information that they might be able to see trends on health or behaviors in terms of how to improve a certain aspect of your health. Because if you are consistent with this, of course, the doctor may not know 100% what has happened the past 2 months, but be able to have this health report to your doctor. That's going to allow you to have a much better eye on your overall health. It helps your doctor be able to more accurately provide you information and diagnose any sort of problems, especially things that might pertain to sleep when you're not even aware or able to identify what's going on. So with their entire ecosystem of health-focused products, that's a great major selling point, similar to like how Apple does with their Apple Watch and their fitness and health apps. They're able to create those sort of reports, but with Withings, I think this is fantastic. If you have the capability to pick up a sleeping mat like this, or maybe some of their other products, I would highly recommend it. And I've noticed from the REM sleep, compared to my Amazfit Bip, my Amazfit Bip doesn't pick up any REM sleep whatsoever. And I was like, well, maybe I'm not getting into that sleeping stage, but come to find out, I do. You can go back to, this is like the second day I'm using it. So like 84 score, 8 hours of sleep. It only took me about 48 minutes. And then depth, I spent about 26% of my overall sleep in REM, which I guess is good. But pretty much, and it tells you again, interruptions, like if you got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, get some water, whatever it is, it does a great job in accurately being able to detect whether you got up and going back to sleep. Whereas I've noticed on the Amazfit Bip, let's say I woke up in the morning, let's say on the weekend, I woke up, got some things done, and then maybe I wanted to go back and take a nap or something like that. Well, it doesn't pick that up. Whereas the sleeping mat, I can actually show where I was awake and then going back to sleep for, let's say, another hour or something like that. It tracks all that, and it's accurate. So I'm amazed that that is actually a possibility. So let's show an example. So here we go. So here's one waking up pretty much just before 7 o'clock. So here we go. This is the right example I was looking for. So I woke up 4:46 in the morning, was up for about 10 minutes, and then actually went back to sleep. So of course that could also, maybe you turned in your sleep, maybe you had a hard time falling asleep, maybe you woke up, let's say you got a phone call, that sort of thing. So it tracks any interruptions, and it shows you the times in which you got interrupted during that sleep cycle. So anyways, if you guys have any questions on the Withings sleeping mat, feel free to comment down below your questions or concerns. If you're curious about picking it up, I'll do my best to answer them based on my almost 3 weeks of usage. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully this was helpful and insightful to you. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you all next time. You guys take care and stay safe.